Here. So if I stand this casket up on the end, which I really can't do, visualize me standing up on its end, and that's what we just lost. That's what's cut out of us. We used to be four, now we're three. Our little John, he's up in heaven now, so we don't have to worry about him. But the other three of us, we got a great big wound, and that wound's going to be healed with time. But when the wound's open, gaping, it needs a lot of licking, it needs a lot of love, it needs a lot of help. A human reaction when something happens, it's like a carotid artery or trapped. And this happened, I found it out about 168 hours ago. So, went down to get him. And so, I think I filled the car full of tears, so little rust on the car. So came back 16 hours and able to meditate and think about this a little more. A little bit bigger now. This is the end right here of this physical life. I'm going to walk over here. This is where his life, God loaned him this life for 28 nice years, and he started right here. It was in a different church, but I've got so many cousins here, and they went through this baptismal font here, and many of you in the church went through this font. We started here April 5th, 1991 or so. And we work our way through his life, that little dash that Father Ted was talking about. So this is the first 5 years here. And we got a front row of people here and over there. His friends left here after baptism and then went to San Diego. It was a nice life. It was a joyous life. Kids when they're 0 to 5, you know, they have a good time. So we had a really good life. It was good for John, good for us. So he's about 5 or 6, and I didn't want him in my life, and want him to stay in our baby Ryan, we want to stay in California. Too many liberals out there. Amen. This is conservative. We moved away, and we didn't want him to be a beach bum. He came this way. So they all would say, we'd like to be in San Diego. Why did we move away? And many people thought I might need a psychiatrist willing to have himself from San Diego. We said we liked it. So we're at 5 here, and we're going to move away through grade school, high school. I got all kinds of high school friends, grade school friends, lifetime friends of my little John, from age 5 to 28. And that period of time in his life, you know, we all look for identity. I didn't know who the heck I was. I'm sure maybe he did. A lot of us don't in Mason, college, or whatever, grade school. You don't really know who you are. So went through some of that searching, but he developed some virtues that had in that high school, grade school time. Why are some of these friends here? They know he's a good man. And if you read all that stuff, I'm not going to go over it again. It shows 4 different things. It shows our little boy had a lot of good virtues. The number 1 was kindness, and it's a very important. Every letter we saw that kindness. And we're so proud of that. Prouder than any of that other stuff. Kindness. He came back and told people with it. The other things, he was smart. He was blessed with a smart gene, blessed with a kind gene, blessed with an athletic gene. So he was blessed with all those things. And the last few months, I continued to talk about those good genes he had. But then there was another gene. It was called a bipolar gene. And during this period of time, from age 18, 19 to 28 of his life, that bipolar gene started getting a little bit more active. He started dominating, becoming a trump card for some of those other good things. And I told him that that's not important. And we continued to talk. I'd say, got all this good genes. He says, Dad, I've got the bipolar gene. I said, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Over and over and over again. So I got my partners here, many of them are here. And all we do the last 42 years of my life is two things. We try to give people quantity of life, but we also try to give them quality of life. And the psychiatrists tried the same things, quantity and quality. And here I am with these tools, his hands and his brain to try to help my young baby boy. And with all the tools my wife and other boy had, we couldn't beat that trump card of bipolar disease. All the professionals out in the world. So just remember, I hope when we leave here today, it's the last part of the food chain, is our mental health in the world today, in the United States. It doesn't get enough help. It's easy for me as a surgeon to cut my arm off, even as an oncologist, my partners. It's easier than this specialty of psychiatry. And so John was belabored with this problem. He got low. He got so very low the last 3 months. We would go there and I would sit for a week and just sit, go through the same mantra. And as a parent, when you don't get a text from him, you don't get a phone call from him, we worried for 10 years. Is our little baby John alive? It's a tremendous cross. But we need to help those types of people in the future. It's too late to help our baby John. But in the future, there's research going to be done that's going to change that for us. Just so you know, have an open mind, have a kindness for people that have these types of diseases. You have all these medical diseases, and they happen even with bipolar disease. It's much harder to handle. A few other comments about December. There's a guy named Jonathan Brule, starts with a D, I can't remember. He visited, his wife was an accountant, so they came to New York City and stayed in John's place. And so the girl, his wife, was an accountant. She had to go to Deloitte and go train on whatever. So this other guy be there. So the guy had a minimum wage job, but he was smart as heck. So John and him would just talk. And so he told me to get this guy a job. So we got him a project. I gave him 24 hours to get something done. This guy in 24 hours, I couldn't believe it. John found that time. There was another friend that was here yesterday. What's a guy's name? Whatever. It's all about 6 days. Yeah, they was suit on. Tired or something. But also, he had come to New York visiting and saw different things. And, John appreciated a lot of talents this man had. This man was not socially comfortable. The other person I said was not socially comfortable. I think there's this social gene where you're comfortable with people. I couldn't even, up till age 32 or 35, I couldn't even get up and talk. I had to give a talk one time at age 32, and I practiced for 1 year. And I was still so nervous. So that nerve gene, I think John got a little bit. And public speaking is hard, but he had that nerve gene, being uncomfortable with all these people. I've got to come over here because, everybody gets their support some way. I've got Greg through here, he helped him out his first 5 years of life and then stayed with him forever. They came over here with Jeff and Jake were his first cousins, and they with him all the time, made seals or whatever. But they're supportive. They love the Lord. They love supporting him. Friends, they're going to help us patch our wounds. They're going to help lick their own wounds. And then I've got these guys named Chappie and Michael and Andy, they're pallbearers too. And they've been with him since about age 5, and they're still here. They are good friends. They love God, and they understood how to love. And they wrote some things. They came up and talked last night. And so John's lucky to have them there. Part of this support for these many years. And I come over here and I got these guys that we never knew before. It was John's second home in 2012 to 2016. It was called University of North Carolina Asheville. I could tell you how we got there, but we don't need all that time. It was our roller coaster of bipolar disease, Virginia. You go right over there sometime. Boy, that thing. And it doesn't go like this, the flat. It's always either going up or going down. It doesn't stay flat. So these guys, it's all gone. And you see some of those letters written. They knew. Andrew got out and talked to us. He was his company. We didn't even pay him. And every day, we talked about this, that you could talk to Andrew. Andrew would logically put things in place that John would accept. As a parent, Andrew would focus his life. He kept charge. He came here and stayed here for about 3 months when John had a job here about a year ago. He kept her said, John was usual. He pushed all of us to another level. Right now he's pushing our family and all of us in the room to another level. That was John's way. He was not satisfied with his life. He's got another level like that. He's up there looking down. Like Billy Joe says. Good guy, yeah. That's what's happening. Good guy, yeah. And this fellow Kepler, he's a photographer for the Biltmore, that's some thing down in Asheville. John helped him start his business here. He went and took photographs of the businesses. He pushed Kepler all around. They had to take all these pictures. And that's on this company's perfection. And he helped. And this young fellow here goes all the way down the track. So he said a lot of people want to tell him. This young fellow today. Oh, what do you know? He came all the way from Asheville just for this. And thank you for your support of John. A couple other things. No, I said a couple of. I know some people just hear the math and you hear you walk out. I don't want to be up here. I want to be at 6 feet down. I want to make that grave 8 feet. I want to be in that 2 extra feet. That's what my feeling is. I want to go down there with them. They won't let me. I don't think that's legal, so I got to stay up here. Several other things. This tall priest or that gray hair priest, the tall one, that's Father Lindsay. You should call him. Oh, that gray hair, he's a big dude. He helped baptize John, baptized Brian, and Mary. So this point is between you. I've got a wife named Miller, maiden name, and that family. Last night my sister Becky talked about. We have some, we put some baptismal dress on the kid. It's about the size of that ball. I mean, is that big? now, all our kids, I don't know where we're all about, but it was longer, it's bigger than that. So we had Paul, baptism, and we're having him Paul. That's coming in at 28 short years of God loaned him to us. Father Ted there did my father and mother's funeral recently. This guy with not any hair back there, that's Father Monsignor Matt. I think he's still back there. And he did my Allie's funeral. That's our little niece that we lost. So very superstitious. We lost Gary Hester in 94, and then 2006, close to 7, we lost Allie, and now it's 2009, 13. So my partner's got a wife and have been 13. It's very serious. So this is another 13 years, so 13 years. I'm done. I don't know where I'm going to hide. This is emotional education, 168 hours. I'm an emotional nightmare. My son Ryan, my wife. This is an emotional roller coaster. But all people I've talked to, everybody walked through yesterday, everybody walked through today, you're all helping us. And everything I can read, everything I can talk to, everybody needs support. And all of you, thank you so much for taking part of your Saturday to being with us. It's important to us. In the next years ahead, it's going to be important to us. On that holy night,